Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and in this video I will talk about some of my new deadline signings. It has been an incredible deadline day, so busy with many new signings into the Sorare gallery because of course the new Sorare launch today actually, and yeah, I'm so excited in general, and we have some huge signings both in contender and champion. So I also want to talk a little bit about that because I'm targeting two different scarcities or regions, whatever you want to call it. But first of all, as we can see on the screen right now, and by the way, also thank you so much for the incredible response to the gallery rating series that I had the past 3 days. Thank you for that. But as we can see on the screen right now, as I said in yesterday's video and as I talked about there, we have signed 2 new champion rare goalkeepers. And I did that because I want strength. That is one of the most important things for me, is to have strength in every single position, and I didn't have that in the goalkeeper spot. But of course, Lukas Skorupski, we talked about him yesterday, and also Steve Mandanda. Jonas Wind is also another guy we signed. Unfortunately, he has picked up an injury on international break, so that also meant that we need to pick up even more champion players, and in specific forwards. Yeah, we can scroll up a little bit here and then you can see our 2 new signings, one of our 2 new signings. But first of all, we bought the backup for Skorupski, Ravaglia, and also the backup for Steve Mandanda, Gautier Galon. I don't want to take any risks. If some get injured or if some gets rotated, I always have the backup. I always tend to do that, and like, it's such a relief because if they get injured, it isn't the end of the world. But let's start off with Alexis Salammoners, because this guy is a player I think will do very well for the rest of the season, and he will be at Milan next season. That is why I also think he isn't that expensive. But if we scroll down here, I picked him up for 30 euros. I think that's incredible cheap for a player like him. Of course, the risk is even lower now because of that price sum. Ideally, I wanted to pick up Lewis Ferguson from Bologna because he seems like an incredible player. He's the captain and he's way more nailed than Salammoners. But when Salammoners is fit, he tends to almost start every single game. And when we scroll back here and look at his scores, they aren't the greatest. But recently, when he took set pieces against Empoli, he gets a decisive score of 35, of course, because he didn't get any decisives, but he gets the all-around score of 40 points, which is very good. And also against Inter, he was good, 16 all-around score, and also against Atalanta he won a penalty and got 30 in AA. If you can get up the pitch, he also takes set pieces, so if you can get a decisive, his scores can look around this. And also for the next game week in specific, I want to just take it on the screen right now, Salammoners here, because I think next game week will be very, very important for me in specific. I think I have to make a lineup builder video because there are so many lineups and I want to do it for the first game week of the new Sorare. You know me, I don't usually like lineup building videos too much. Yeah, but still. Salernitana, the bottom league of Serie A, is the first fixture this weekend, and also Frosinone the game week after that, and also Monza. And Bologna have some very, very, very good fixtures, 3 game weeks in a row, which I really like. And if you can keep up these type of scores, like, this will be incredible. And if there is one fixture he will actually be managing to do that, I think it is this game week. And I hope he will, because he is most likely my captain in all of my priority champion teams. And yeah, the next one is going to be Ashley Barnes, actually. Ashley Barnes, actually. Nice. And like, he's a player that I mostly have for depth, I mean. And I need to show you this also really quick. Ashley Barnes, because he has a double game week, and this is very, very exciting stuff. Plymouth and also Leicester in game week 463, so I didn't know it when I purchased him, but I saw it afterwards, and this is incredible because he can actually play in a pretty high prioritized lineup this weekend, which is very exciting. I have some very good matchups and fixtures this weekend in the rare, and he isn't the best of scorer, but he is pretty nailed. He plays almost every single game for Norwich and gets some decisives, and also for his price, a little over 10 euros, I think I can't go too much wrong with that. As you can see here, yeah, around 10 euros. I think that is a very fair price for a player that, yeah, don't get too much AA, but he is on the pitch, and I think, no, he doesn't take penalties, but he's an offensive midfielder. He's on the pitch almost for every single minute, which is very good. Norwich is a team that scores a lot of goals, especially recently. And against Plymouth, after that, of course, it gets a little bit harder, but still, I really like that purchase. But now, let's move up to the big boys, and yeah, let's start, not the big boys yet, but let's start with Marcelino Nunes. Let's start with him, because he's also a player that I had in Limited before. I think he's a very interesting player, and also he played for Chile this international break. And also I want to build out the Norwich collection a little bit, because I have a little bit of a collection now. I think we're on 1% or 1 collection bonus percent, which is nice. And the reasoning for me wanting to purchase players like Marcelino Nunes is because I think he's very underrated. If you look at his scores here, do you know what, we just take it on Sorare data. It's so much easier to show it here. Marcelino Nunes, and I think I got him for a very fair price actually, 11 euros, and now he has been sold for a little bit more, which is of course very, very nice. And also the new design, what do you think about it? Sorry, data design, I think it's pretty clean. But yeah, in terms of his scores, they aren't the best, but recently he has started more consistently. He has been very good. He played when Norwich won 3-0 and 5-0. I don't know if he will play against Plymouth, so this is something we need to take into consideration, like when picking the main contender teams, but I really like him in general, and also he did very well. And I think he scored on international duty, but of course he may not start because the first game is on Friday. But we will of course see, and yeah, he's 100% odds of getting benched, which isn't the greatest, but still he's a player for the long term in my opinion. I think he will become very, very useful in my gallery. And yeah, let's move on to Puru. This is a forward from Girona. I needed to buy him because Jonas Wind was injured. I needed more depth in the forward position. And in terms of his scores, they aren't the best. But I bought him for a little over 10 euros. I'm very happy by that purchase. If we go to Puru, because he has started playing more and more consistently recently. And also this game week he will be very important for me because Savio is currently on a yellow card suspension. And also Tsigankov, which is a guy or a player I have on the watch list. I'm very close to picking him up actually. But the price are a little bit too much for me at the moment. So I think he will be very nailed. That is what I'm trying to say. Because of course Tsigankov recently had the injury, recently came back now. And like in terms of his scores, they aren't the greatest, but I think he's pretty good on the pitch. I haven't watched Girona too much, but still, he can get those decisives here and there, which is good. And he also plays at a team that scores a lot of goals. That is my main reason, and he's more a depth player compared to like a main player. But this game week I will actually use him in one of my champion lineups, so he will actually be used this weekend most likely in a pretty favorable fixture against Real Betis. So I really like this one. And the next one is going to be one of my all-time, not all-time favorite players, but someone I watched at the World Cup, Japan. And I really liked him, Duan. I bought him for, I think I overspent a little bit on him. Yeah, 48 euros, that is a little bit too much when I look back at it, but I always like to check. Yeah, okay, so 54 is the current lowest, so I didn't do that badly. But still, I think that is a little bit too much for a player like Duan. But you probably wonder why I bought Duan. And that is because I think Freiburg will have a little bit of a turnaround when it comes to the end of the season. They want to finish inside the top 6, and if they're going to do it, they need an incredible run. And I think they can manage to do it. Mönchengladbach, Darmstadt, Mainz, Wolfsburg, Köln, Heidenheim, Union Berlin. Those are fixtures that they will win 90 to 80% of their time. And that is something I really like. And then buying attacking players from that team, which is Duan here. He is very good when they are up against bad opponents. For example here, Bochum, which is the good team. North Korea, of course that isn't with Freiburg. Frankfurt, he did good. Heidenheim, he did good. Olympiacos, he did good. And I like when I watch this and here against a bad team, against Bochum again, like he tends to do very good against very bad oppositions, and I think Freiburg has some very favorable fixtures, and I hope Duan can just keep on performing. He's in general a good AA scorer, but can he get those decisives more consistently? That is something I hope that he can find his form. And also I did actually go for his midfielder card. I know his forward card is a little bit better, but I want to use him in the in-season champion competitions. and that is the main reason. Also, I get that percentage bonus, so I think it evens out in the long run. But that is him, and the next one is actually Jack Stacy, another Norwich player, which I bought for 16 euros. He have recently sold for a little bit more, which is of course very, very nice. Let's look at him, Jack Stacy. And yeah, he's a little bit of a peak guy. He can have those very, very high peaks, and that is something I really like, because I want to do either very well, or it doesn't matter too much if I came like top 25% or something. I want to do well or bad. If I go down in a division, it's okay. But he has also, of course, as I mentioned, Norwich double game week. Very, very exciting stuff, and I hope he can perform. For that price, I think it's just incredible value of money. Yeah, those peak scores, hopefully can get that against Plymouth or something. And this is also a depth player, mostly in classic season competitions, and also in season actually, but mostly just depth for the contender region in general. But the last one, probably the guy I'm most excited about signing, that is Visam Bened. And it's an all-season card, I know, but the price was too good to be true. I have, yeah, it took a long time actually to find a guy that was willing to trade and go down in value. But keeping in mind, I got him for 28 euros, Visam Bened. Like, I know he has been not the greatest recently, but keep in mind some of these fixtures aren't the easiest, but still, yeah, he hasn't performed the best. But if we go to his, yeah, 90 euros, like this doesn't say anything, to be fair. But still, I think that price was way too fair. I saw him listed for 40 euros. The all-season card, and I thought I just sent some offer, 28 euros. That is very, very underpriced in my opinion if we go to his last sales as well. And he accepted immediately, very surprising. And this is a guy that I actually think I can have a lot of fun with, and I will show you why in a second. And he's also one that I'm so excited about having him, because when I started playing Sorare, he was always a guy I wanted to pick up. And now I get his rare for more than his limited was worth back in the day, which is just incredible. Not the best reflection on the Sorare market and how it has been going recently, but still very, very glad to get him into the club. Yeah, he has been very, very bad recently, but one thing I really like is that he has missed many big chances. That just shows that he is in those positions, and if he scores one of those big chances, this score right here will be a 75-pointer. This score right here will be a 70-pointer, and like that is such a big difference. And let's say he scored 2 of the, let's say 5 big chances he has missed recently, because he has missed a lot of big chances recently. He would have been jumped up here, and like his price would have been much more stable in my opinion. And that's also something I really, really like looking at. He's on penalties, he's the captain, he's the main man on top beside Balogun. So I really like it, and also in terms of the fixtures, Metz is a good one, René is a decent one, Clermont, Montpellier and also Nantes. There are some good fixtures and some bad ones, but I think it will be so important for Monaco to finish inside the top 3 or top 4. So I think Bened will be very important, and of course he's a captain, which I really like buying captains, and also penalties. So there is many different ways we can get points for him. So that is the new signings, the deadline signings. And there are some very, very exciting ones, and I think I need to make a lineup builder video, because I actually have some other players that I want to sign. One of those is Vincent Sierro, this guy right here, Vincent Sierro. I don't know if I will be able to get him, because no one wants to trade with me. So yeah, that is the current plan, and yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will of course catch you in the next one. Bye bye, and take care. Peace.